Thank you, Pete. And good morning, everybody. And if we could start, Phil, with the first Rumi quote. Just put it up there. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So I think a lot of you know me. My name is Gerri Ratigan, and I am a singer. I love to sing with this group. And a life coach, and I'm the mother of 2 adult children. And I have to start out by saying, yes, I felt a little pressure about getting up here and speaking because everybody else spoke, and they all happened to be really good. So you know, the other thing I want to say about that, though, is I also realize that I feel like I have something important to say, and that is that I firmly believe that love starts with you. And there's 2 things, and when I say love starts with you, what I mean is me, and what I mean is you and every individual. But there's 2 things that help me to cement that. And one is my 24-year marriage fell apart. And the other thing happened more gradually, and that is as a social worker and a mother and a life coach, I noticed that people need a lot more self-love. And I noticed when I showed them love from my heart and respected them that they seemed to thrive much more. So a little more on my divorce. In 2004, my divorce brought me to my knees. It devastated me. It destroyed me. And it also saved me. I was devastated in the beginning. I kept saying to myself, you know, why am I giving and giving and giving? Why have I given so much for so long and didn't get what I wanted in return? I didn't get the love that I wanted. And this was going on in my mind for a long time. It was just this repeat over and over. And after a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of mistakes, I learned that love doesn't come from another person. I was demanding that he give me what I couldn't give to myself. Love comes from our connection to spirit. Our life and the love in our lives is a reflection from the inside. And though I did a lot of work and I came a long way with that because I'm human, I still have to remind myself of that on a regular basis. But I have a stronger foundation now, and the kind of love that allows me, at least sometimes and more often than I ever have, to live with an open heart. So happy Valentine's Day and happy Love Day. Whether you're single, you're happily married, or you're unhappily married, you are love, and love comes from you. And those are not just words. That is a regular commitment. So I'll talk a little more about what I learned about how to come from love and the things that I think might be valuable to you. And the other thing I'll talk about is that your worth has nothing to do with your ability. So Phil, can we put that second quote up? Because when I found this quote, I almost thought, well, I don't even need to do a talk because this is so great. But I did want to read this to you. The secret to happiness is really learning to love in a perpetual state of love, whether or not you're in a romantic relationship. Being love versus being in love is not dependent on another person or a fleeting feelings and emotions. It really is a higher state of awareness. Entering a secret place within your soul where you connect to the divine and all creation. This kind of love doesn't rely on external circumstances. It is always there, flowing from within. It's who you are. It's what you were born to live life from the inside out and be love. And that's Daniel Nielsen. So, again, love is the essence of the universe. It's what we're made of. It's the life force. It's the energy that fuels everything. And unity is a great place to be, right? Because it teaches us things like denials and affirmations, and that retrains our brains to be in this state of love. It helps us to live from there. And it's about remembering who we were when we were born. There's no question that we were loved when we were born. Have you ever looked into the eyes of a newborn baby? I remember holding my son when he was first born. They're now 32 and 29. But when they were babies, holding them and looking into their eyes and singing and feeling this love moving through us. So that's what we're made of, and that's what we come here from. Then babies grow up, and then they're looking for love. They're raised by adults who, like us, are hurt, and we're distracted, and we have our own issues. We all grow up with childhood wounds, and that's carried forth, and we're looking for love in all the wrong places, like from our partners and from other people. That's what we tend to do. And I know for me, I was a very sensitive, lost child, and like all of us. And then I grew up with these wounds, and I was looking to be healed, to be resolved, and that was all unconscious until it became conscious. But the one thing I did notice, now I just want to emphasize we all have those wounds, but there was one thing that I did notice, that I was never shamed about singing, so I didn't carry that particular wound. And there was a sweet little old lady who used to give me nickels to sing for her. And that was one little bright spot, and I'm sure I had others in my life. But my question for you is, would you have been encouraged to sing if somebody gave you nickels when you were a kid? Right? And if you got the right kind of nickels or the right kind of encouragement, what kind of challenges would you be able to handle? Don't we move towards what makes us feel loved? Right? So, Phil, could we do the third? Yeah, thank you. What if you could call on a kindly character like my little old lady who gave me nickels, but your own, to encourage you to be able to be your best at anything in your life, right? So how about, for just a moment right now, think of something, a challenge that you have in your life, and close your eyes. And you can use my little old lady who gave me nickels, or you can use another character, Santa Claus, a beloved uncle, somebody you made up, Winnie the Pooh, whatever. Just imagine that character, that person enfolding you and saying, I love you just the way you are. I'll never leave you. I'm always going to be here with you. I'll always love you. You are wonderful just the way you are. And just open your heart to that. We have a tendency to close our hearts. Just open your heart to that. Doesn't that feel lighter? Even just a little bit, doesn't that lift you up? Doesn't that give you the fuel that you need? So what I'm pointing to is the inner child. We all have him or her. And Phil, could you put up number 4? Yeah. Now this might seem like a leap, but who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. See, what happens is that inner child is saying, hey, love me, take care of me. I need you to give me support. And when that's happening, who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. And your child crops up searching for that love and prevents you from doing the things that you'd like to do because you need to love that child. Those unresolved wounds hold us back, And what I'm saying is we've all met people who have allowed those unresolved wounds to destroy their lives. I can think in my past of people who destroyed their lives in a number of ways, and it was clear they had issues that they had not addressed. So that's an extreme example, but we all have that in some way. We're holding ourselves back in some way because we could be giving ourselves more love. Right? So we want to attend to that inner child. So number 5, please. The last one. Yes, thank you. All right. So that begs the question, when was the last time you really loved that inner child? And I know people here at Unity have, at least most of us have had some exposure to that, but I'm asking you to really dive in. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas now. Obviously, we can't do it all here, but I just want to ask you, have you done mirror work? Have you looked in the mirror and told yourself how much you love yourself? Have you invited parts of yourselves that you haven't loved as much as you could and said, I love you? I know the first time I did that, I was really surprised at how powerful it was. And it helped to heal pieces of myself. Another thing is journaling. By journaling, it brings those things out. And then we can see what we're feeling disappointed or our failures within ourselves, and we can then love that as well. Another thing that I do on a regular basis is I look at the frame that I have of myself when I was really little. I was 3 at the time. In the picture, it looks like that anyway. And I touch her heart, and I tell her how much I love her. So my point here is you are valuable. You are beautiful. The universe needs every one of you. The universe, in fact, can't go on without you. You are that valuable. Although there are times when there are some people who think that's not true. But the truth is, no matter what your ability, you are essential. So now, Phil, there's a video, the next one, and it starts at 1.04.
And this comes out of Louisiana State University. A professor there has examined just what damage Mr. Rogers may have done to this whole crop of kids who now feel entitled just for being them. And what he says is, instead of telling them, you know, you're special, you're great, why didn't he just say, you know what, there's a lot of improvement. Keep working on yourself.
Yeah, the world owes you nothing if you're there. You got to prove it. So for now, all these people, these kids are going to college and say, okay, I need an A. Because I'm special. And they go, no, you got to work hard for it. But actually, this is my generation. I think we're a hard work generation. I'm worried about this upcoming generation.
You know what? There's some other information regarding this. And when you look at the American students from Asian countries who did not watch, according to the research, who did not watch Mr. Rogers, when they get a B or a C, they go, I got a B or a C. I got to work harder. Which is a little different than what
Rather than late professor.
Okay, but listen, we want to hear what you have to think. Do you?
I'm here to bust that. I'm here to bust that. Your ability and your skills have nothing to do with your essential worth and who you are. Yeah, we got to play this game like these people on Fox News talked about. Yeah, you want to develop skills, but you are a child of God. And too many of us judge ourselves and others against unreasonable standards. We hear, are you thin enough? Are you beautiful enough? Are you rich enough? Are you successful enough? Are you popular enough? Are you young enough? I know I feel that with some things too. It just kind of goes into me. And I have to work harder at this. But what are the consequences of listening to those external standards of your essential worth, of who you really are? What are you measuring these against? Judgment, especially when you let it go too deep, cripples us. So I want to share a few stories of people who stepped beyond that judgment. They didn't allow this to happen. I'm sure they had their moments, but they stepped beyond it. Did you know that Elvis and the Beatles and Lady Gaga were all told that they couldn't sing or play, that their music was lousy? Albert Einstein didn't speak till he was 4 years old. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. And Fred Astaire's first screen test came back with can't act, can't sing, balding, and he can dance a little. But we hold ourselves back until we're good enough. Who says? What part of ourselves says that? Why are we allowing these outside forces to say that about ourselves? Again, sure, develop skills, that's fine, but we're stifled when and harmed when we judge our essence against our ability. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of Joe Biden and Leonardo DiCaprio and Meryl Streep. And we all think those are great people. I want to remind you that you are just as important as they are, and that every child living in poverty or any way is just as important. We are all a piece of God. Learn. You can learn anything, but fail with love for yourself and for others. And when you feel that essence of who you are, your essence, yourself, you have the energy to move forward. But we have a tendency to get that backwards. We say, I'll feel good about myself when I succeed, when I get this, when I get that. But the physical world is only a benefit of knowing that you have that essence of who you are, that you are already whole and complete. So what I'm asking you to do is be radical about loving yourself. What if you loved yourself every time something went wrong in your life? And I know you guys have heard this, we all hear this, but I'm asking you to make this a regular practice because you will see incredible benefits in your life. All right, what if you could be that sweet little old lady giving yourself nickels? So not needing validation, yet opening your heart to love, but and not needing to win, and not needing to be better than other people, but celebrating other people's successes so that you say, oh, I can learn from them and I can shine. That's the thing that we're working towards. So yeah, Phil has this up here, and I wanted to share this because what I talked about was like this whirlwind tour of work that I've been doing for decades, right? And Louise Hay has some wonderful stuff, meditations and other material on loving your inner child and self-esteem. So I just really wanted to emphasize that. And the next one, Phil, I wanted to invite you to a free talk that I'm doing. It's through Facebook, and you'll see all the information here, and that's on March 9th at 7 o'clock. And again, that's free. You can reach out to me. I think most of you know how to reach out to me, but I just wanted to invite you to that as well. Okay? So now there is one more short clip that I wanted to share with you, and I want to invite you to open your hearts to the real truth about who you are.
You are my friend. You are special. You are my friend. You are special to me. You are the only one like you, my friend. I like you in the daytime, in the nighttime, anytime that you feel's the right time for a friendship with me, you see. F-R-I-E-N-D, special. You are my friend. You're special to me. There's only one in this wonderful world. You are special.
So I hope that went into your hearts. And I also want to ask you to remember to bring forth your own version of the little old lady offering you nickels. Thank you. Oh, that's right. We're doing a solo. All we love.
Thanks, Gerri. We have a fitting song.
What?
We have a fitting song to play for everyone.
Yes, we have a song. Yeah.
We're going to hear Gerri's amazing voice. I think we can all thank that lady for giving you nickels.
Life has taught me this, every day is new. And if anything is true, all that matters when we're through is how we love. Faced with what we lack, some things fall apart. But from the ashes, new dreams start. All that matters to the heart is how we love. How we love. From the smallest act of kindness, in a word, a smile, a touch. In spite of our mistakes, chances come again. If we lose or if we win, all that matters in the end is how we love. How we love, how we love. I will not forget your kindness when I needed it so much. Sometimes we forget, trying to be so strong in this world of right and wrong. all that matters when we're gone. All that mattered all along. All we have that carries on is how we love.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Gerri, for the message and for the song.
Thank you.
You got us all here. So we've come to the time in our service for our offertory statement. Thank you, Phil. We kind of take a breath and take in what Gerri has said and bring it to this offering as well, as an offering of love. Let's say this together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are blessed to know that Spirit is our source. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. And so it is. Amen. And we have another song for you.
Years cannot age you. Fear cannot scare you. Pain cannot hurt you. Death cannot kill you. Choose love. Choose love.
War cannot harm you. Hunger can't starve you. Sin cannot shame you. Guilt cannot blame you. Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. When you're doubting your direction, and you feel like giving up, choose love.
Money has spent you. Beauty would tempt you. Fame will fool you. Power will rule you.
Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. When when you're doubting your direction,
doubting your direction,
and you feel like giving up,
giving up,
choose love.
choose love. Years cannot age you,
Choose love.
fear cannot scare you,
Choose love.
pain cannot hurt you,
Choose love.
death cannot kill you,
Choose love.
war cannot harm you,
Choose love.
hunger can't starve you,
Choose love.
sin cannot shame you,
Choose love.
guilt cannot blame you.
Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. Choose love. Choose